coming down. Coming down a little bit further. I think I'm also sneaking in a little too much.
You're headed that way if you want to wait to get set up on it.
Copy that. Looks like there may be another one behind it.
Big pink.
Yeah, so
shrimp at the bottom.
I believe these are some sponges.
Copy.
The bryozoan.
Feel free to come in.
Great little shrimp. Yeah, this kind of cliff edge with these holes in it are going to be great habitat for a lot of these smaller.
Kind of in an odd space where I'm half above, half below the currents.
Oh, there's a big legs of something just to the right, right at the right edge of your screen.
Yeah.
Crab. But I know if you need to get out of this location, that's fine.
I'm relatively safe where it's pushing me away from the feature. I'm just trying to let video know that I may trying to drift back and hold station is
Yep, just a little crab hanging out. Literally.
Coming up on the rotator.
Clear.
Copy that. Alright, I think I have enough tether to push over this top. Getting close. If you want to come full wide.
You're full wide.
Copy, thank you.
This is a really great view. In the Sirius cam, it looks like there's a lot of those big kind of demo sponges along this big rocky surface. That's a very interesting area oceanographically. We've gone up in depth and we're still kind of hovering. Our ROV is around 5.5 degrees C.
Coming off. I'm gonna settle to starboard and then face into the current for this one over here. The one that's in my lower right.
Okay, that'd be great.
Copy. Are these fish different from what we were seeing, or?
Those are the same.
Same. Oh yeah, I see the little black. They just looked white.
Okay, I see your fairway is out there. The ship move is just about done. Do you guys want another one right after that?
Yeah, we
just
can go
keep
ahead.
you moving that way. You're probably getting turned by your tether, which is blowing out in the current to the east there.
Yeah, we can go ahead and get another move.
Copy that.
So these are probably what we call Vachelia species of the sponge. These kind of large fan sponges on these stalks. And Scott France on the chat was asking if this is the first part of the upper ledge above the scarp. And yes, it is. We are pretty much at the kind of top of it here, or close to the top.
Looks like there may be a fish or something just to the right edge of the screen. I'm not sure. It's got a grayish tone to it.
Copy.
And after we sort of circle around this pilot, if we can get a close-up look, it looked like there was some coral, larger sort of branching coral up to the upper left part of the screen there.
Okay. In the background?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so off to the left.
Okay, 1 second. Go ahead and zoom in real quick video. We'll try and see what that is.
Oh.
Oh. Shell of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah, partial, thank you. Let me creep up on it and actually get settled.
First urchin that we've, kind of pancake urchin that we've seen. Again, back up in this depth range.
Okay, go ahead and come in on that video. Coming up on the rotator. Coming to the starboard. Drifting back.
Is that part of a Nautilus?
Coming up. Over. Come partial, please. This is a...
You're full wide.
Copy. Thank you.
Piece of debris blowing up ahead.
Stand by 1 video. Coming back down.
So we have a little bit of information.
Okay, you can come in on this.
About that, what we're seeing.
Oh, it's a paper nautilus shell.
Yes.
Sorry,
That's what Scott was just writing. Alexis just came back from lunch.
Is there something for a collection?
Hello, Okeanos.
Hello.
This is Mike Vecchione here.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm just following along on my cell phone, so I can't do the chat at the same time. I just want to let you know that the thing that they zoomed on the bottom just a minute ago was an egg case from an Argonaut, which is a kind of pelagic octopus. It's also called a paper nautilus.
Excuse me. Ship's
And
coming to
sometimes
needs
it's
to
called
stop.
a shell, but it's actually not a shell. It's formed by the tips of the arms of the female. She lives inside of it and lays her eggs inside of it.
Wow. Okay. And do they just deposit them when they're like?
Right.
Is it something that when the organism dies, or does it release it at a certain point?
Well, she's capable of letting go, abandoning ship, so to say. But I don't think that they actually do that. I think probably it's a result of the death of the female.
Watchley did mention some coral. Is it that in the background?
Okay.
Or?
Have you seen these before, like on the seafloor like this?
Okay.
Just curious.
So forward.
Yeah, you see them occasionally, not very often, but they're actually quite abundant in the surface layers, and they show up in tuna stomachs and stuff like that pretty regularly. But
You also have something kind of
Okeanos
waving
is
over there.
actually,
Looks like a sponge.
recorded images of them on the
Debris.
bottom in a couple of places.
That's what I was calling out to
cool.
you. I didn't want it to
That's
blow
great.
into the vehicle.
Copy that.
So anyhow, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And I will actually lurking on my cell phone.
Thanks for calling in, Mike.
Sure. Bye.
Bye. So we just heard from Mike Vecchione, who is with NOAA systematics lab, and he studied cephalopods, and that was a Argonaut egg case. So he said they're often referred to as shells, but really it's where the organism lays its eggs. So that's really cool.
That is super cool.
Watch lead nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
A co-pilot just came up a little bit on Sirius, and we saw the temperature go back up to 8.5.
Okay.
So it's up 3 degrees from where it was about a half hour ago.
Wow. So did you guys talk about this? Sorry, while I was at lunch, that we're seeing 2 different temperatures on the CTDs for both the D2 and Sirius? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it right now.
Lasers are clear.
The ROV D2 is at 874 meters. Sirius is at 857, and so less than 20 meters, and it's a 3 degree C difference.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm curious, do we think we have different, yeah, we can take a zoom on that coral. I'm curious if we have different water masses.
Oh yeah, we have to. The salinity is not too different, but it's also, we're seeing that big difference in the dissolved oxygen as well. At the deeper, colder, it's 7.2, and at the more shallow, it's 5.1.
Close enough for the extra lights.
Wow, that's
Lost
really
my
cool.
bearings.
I believe so. Co-pilot wants to try and put them on.
So what type of coral are we looking at here?
It's another bamboo coral, likely a type of keratoisis, but I do not know which clade.
Do you want me to scan up or down, or
Oh yeah, go ahead and scan
down to
up.
the top.
coming up?
Thank you. It has all of its polyps retracted.
Coming up even further.
Just FYI, Lars.
Pretty
wanna take a look at
tightly,
where you
actually.
are and,
Yep.
Well, it's
Sirius
blowing
is
pretty
here.
good in the
Okay,
current.
copy that.
We came up on top of the scarp, and it's really
Keep going
to the
falling up here.
Yeah, Scott France says it's interesting how puffy the
there.
polyps look here, and yeah,
There's a
that's
few.
kind of what I was thinking too. Oh yeah. Again, you can see those sclerites in
Okay.
there, the white
Video, I have
structures
about
that you see
20
through the
seconds left
tissue.
before I need to push out.
Full screen.
Copy that. Coming down a little bit. Any more interest here, video and or science?
I think
Video's
we're
good.
okay. We can
Copy.
carry on.
Yeah, coming
Scott
up and
said that
pushing out.
these have close
How
to
loud
what's
did you
known
go
as the
away?
volcano polyp shape, which is what they look like, little volcanoes. So possibly an ecnomysis,
Off screen.
Copy that,
bamboo
pushing out.
coral.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about, pilot, when we're, if you know you still want to grab something after the paper or the first thing we zoomed in on, then
Yeah.
we may as well just call for a ship easy stop. We can always pick that back up whenever.
Copy that.
Especially, it seemed like it was pretty hard getting set up.
Yeah.
Because you were battling the current and the tether turning you and everything, so budget a few more minutes for that too.
Copy.
Looks like you're back on track though. On our way to waypoint 2.
Did you guys see another one of those sea stars?
We did.
And it
Yeah.
was in a different orientation?
It was eating a coral.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm just
It was
gonna
all wrapped
line up
over.
like this and then just saddle in the direction
Primoid.
of travel, if that's alright.
And
Yeah.
like you could see the stomach was extended out, and it
Floating
was like
fish coming at you
dissolving
just
the
off left.
tissue.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so cool.
coming.
It was very cool.
Okay. Come in.
Maybe
Coming
one of
in
those
hot.
little
Yeah,
viper
he's
fish?
moving a little too quick.
He's, yeah.
He might swim out though.
Clear.
Alright, copy that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, pilot, to keep your head into the current. The only thing is we do expect some undulations kind of going to waypoint 2, so you might want to turn your head just to get just 1 or 2 sonar scans in, and then, you know, come back around and make it easy on you. We should be able to see it in serious view too, but
Video swap it out.
lower frequency might be able to pick it up a little better.
Copy.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little drop off, maybe.
And that last move was complete, or?
Yes, we call it a shortened end, where we shortened it. So we are stopped right now.
End of leash.
Copy that.
We can get another one in.
Yeah, I understand, co-pilot.
Yeah, let's get another one in.
Good afternoon all, Brian Doro signing on at video.
Welcome, Brian.
So we have worked our way up this scarp, which is was about 140 meters in rise, and we are now going to work our way, I believe, north-ish along the edge of this scarp. I think they were saying that the currents picked up quite a bit when we came up to this top feature, the top of this feature. So we'll see if communities change along with that.
So co-pilot, the CTD and or the XPT was confirmed the CTD anomaly at 860 to 840,
There's
I believe.
a small sea star
So you should
towards the bottom
could
left.
be seeing it
Bottom
soon.
left. All right, copy that.
Yep.
Co-pilot, could you take off my extra lights, please? And
Take off.
take off, I believe they're on, aren't they?
They are not on.
It's very bright. Okay.
I can adjust your uppers to.
It
Leave
might
it
just
down
be
for
a video thing. I think he may have brightened it when I was looking out into the dark.
That should help. The sand
It's also reflects it more.
reflects more, so you want your upper swing arms deployed
Copy.
fully. Up until this point, it's been more of a rocky black, so you didn't have that problem.
Understood.
All right, you should be getting a little more leash as we go here, Lars.
Copy that. Do you mind zooming in past the skids video, please?
Yeah, Sirius is starting to move.
Video, do you mind zooming past the skids, please? Thank you. I am...
One thing you're going to find, I don't know how much
Go ahead
you've been
come in
flying
video.
in high current bars, but
Very little.
yeah, one thing you're going to find is your Z is going to be pretty variable.
Okay. Go ahead and come in on that video. On the C-Star.
Yeah, let's just take a quick, it looks like it's feeding on this primnode octocoral, similar to the larger sea
Yeah,
star we saw
forget it.
earlier, just a different type. But a small little goniastrid.
Trying to come over. Copy. Go ahead and take it. Go down on the rotator.
Great. So these, when sea stars eat like this, it's called corallivery, so eating coral. And they tend to expel their stomach, the sea star, and then just essentially dissolve the tissue off of the coral skeleton. So you can see that metallic bit of skeleton at the bottom. That's what bare skeleton from noids looks like when it's freshly bare. So that hasn't been colonized by any epibionts or small organisms that would take up that space.
Right there?
Copy.
Oh yeah, and a nice crinoid right there.
Sorry, I'm drifting on you. Copy. Science, are you clear?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Watch lead nav.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Nav.
Hey, we just, as a quick update, we have about 2 hours left on bottom.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. And while I have you, we have traveled another 100 meters, making that 600 total.
Great. Hi, Chris Ma.
Hey, Alexis.
How are you? Yeah, we just saw that small little sea star.
Yes. I suspect that is a smaller individual of the same species that we've been seeing.
Oh, okay.
Steenecter MA. This is, of course, one of the difficulties with when you have only a single larger specimen that you describe the species off of, is you don't know the variation and the extent of size and how they affect the shape. So, so that could well be a second species or something different. But it looks like it has some of the characteristic features that I used to identify it earlier on. But there are also other subtle changes and differences in like the marginal plate shape and whatnot. These are sea star taxonomies based on the architecture of the plates and all of the skeletal forms. And so sometimes when they vary, they throw me off a bit. So and we're working in sort of a new ground in a sense, because like I said, I've described this species off one individual, and now we're seeing them alive and different sizes and such. So
14.
it's always a bit of a challenge, and this is a kind of thing that becomes, there's adversity when you're trying to identify these things, especially kind of on the fly like this. So anyway, it's harder for coral, I know. So anyway, thank you for stopping. I appreciate every little bit I can get is more. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, do we have any inclination to hills or any dips or anything in the bathymetry? Not really, huh?
It's directly ahead of us. Come over here for a sonar scan. Couple rocks, but it looks relatively flat. Could probably go ahead and get another move.
Yeah. How about go ahead, watch one.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. That sounds good. Yep.
Definitely better.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want, if you guys are okay with it and agree, we'll put in another 30-meter move on this same bearing, 325, and then we'll just start to head dead west to waypoint 3.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
How do you feel, co-pilot?
Another move coming in.
Copy.
Sounds good.
It's an interesting feature up there to the left.
Copy. When I have a little bit more tether, I can
Oh,
scoot
yeah,
over there and check it out.
That's fine.
I'll drift over here to starboard, come around, and then I can work my way up there so I'm into the current for it.
Great.
Is there...
There's another starfish as well.
Yeah, it seems like we're going through patches of these outcrops. Like there's some space where there seems to be not really any of the black rock coming through, and then regions like this where you see all these patches.
Yep. Looks like another one of those starfish kind of dead ahead there. As we move, we could zoom in on it, maybe.
Sure. Just waiting for that move. Is
Yeah,
there
that's
anything
fine.
in the foreground that is of interest?
Yeah, squid above you and Sirius's view.
Copy that. It's pretty. That's out of my range, right? It's pretty far above.
Can you come in on Sirius?
Okay.
It's gone.
How big was it looking?
It's like 2-3 feet.
Whoa.
2 feet long, maybe. It's hard to tell.
We could have our expert video clipper clip it out and then enhance it.
There's another, looks like snapper-branched-eel.
Mm-hmm.
Quick zoom on the starfish.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Coming over starboard. Coming up a bit. Coming down. Sneaking in on him. Go ahead. Coming down. Oh, sorry. Coming down. Oh. Coming left. Coming down. Coming down. I'm sneaking in on him. Coming down.
Another Goni asteroid.
Yeah,
Back, please.
it's a great close-up. Thanks, pilot.
Copy, will do.
There's a lot more stuff in the water column I'm seeing from Sirius's view.
Yeah, I just saw the little guy go through.
Just
That's cool.
Go ahead with that video.
qualitatively.
Coming down.
Lots of jellies and everything else coming through.
Yeah, Josh, you're still up at 8.1 degrees, but the ROV CTD
Copy.
didn't get that high at the same depth, so I imagine you're just up in the water column getting hotter water.
Yeah.
Yes, currents.
It's cool.
Throwing me off. Okay. If science and video are clear, I'll push
Science
ahead.
is good.
Alright. Pull out, please. Full and wide. Is that a swimming shrimp?
Oh,
Come in
yeah.
on the shrimp.
This
Coming left.
They're kind of like half translucent, half pinkish red. Makes them really hard to see.
yeah.
Coming up.
Even in the light, it makes
Yeah,
it hard to
yeah.
see.
Go ahead. Come down on the camera. Go ahead. Coming back to starboard. Coming back.
And away it goes.
All right, we're probably coming to the end of that move here soon.
Copy. Go ahead, thank you.
So our next move will come a little more west.
Good.
Maybe 275. We'll give it a minute to settle out.
Copy that.
It's an interesting sponge.
Is this of interest video?
Yeah, please. Can
watch
we
this.
just zoom on that?
Sure.
Quite a bit different from anything we've seen today.
Stand by. Okay. Let me get settled. Okay, go for zoom. Take as much as you want. Coming back to starboard a little. Copy. Coming back to starboard.
Oh. So like a
Little
snail.
Coming
Yeah.
back.
Nolan Barrett from Georgia Tech is saying that this is a demo sponge and maybe heteroscleromorpha. Little, I wonder if that's a little ball sponge at the
Coming
side
up.
of it.
Looks like it.
Some hydroids growing on there.
Little
Hang
itty
on!
bitty hermit crab holding on to the hydroid. Yeah, I think you're right. I think maybe those little fuzzy, branchy things are those
go ahead and
glutenated forams.
Coming back to starboard. Sorry, I'm bouncing you around. Copy.
Can we get a zoom on the sponge with the tube coming out of it, please?
Yes.
It's a little bit of knowing when to compensate for when you're drifting out, and when to. What you want to try to avoid is like pilot-induced oscillations.
Copy.
Because there's a delay between when you put an input in and when the vehicle responds to it. So I'll make small adjustments to try to find that zone that balances the forces. And if I'm drifting one way, I'll make a little bit of adjustment until I either stop or I drift the other way, and then maybe a little bit back. So small little adjustments until you find where you want to be.
Gotcha. Come in video. Coming up. Feel free to take zoom as you would like. I can come a little bit more to port. Okay. Copy that.
Another one of those twirly gastropods.
Copy. Yeah, go ahead and come back. I see what you mean, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially on rock and high current. Even if you stir up something, you know, it'll go past you.
Yellow sponges to the right are likely Hertwigia.
Yeah, for reference, Lars, you're doing 60% down.
Yeah.
And that one with the big chimney or osculum is likely a demo sponge, but we're not sure what particular species.
Tris,
I think we're good to carry on.
copy that. Coming up.
Well, there's a balance, right? Because if you just have your toes on and you push down hard,
then you'll bend
you
back.
slide back, and then you push forward
And
more.
Tina
then
Malitsova had said that
off,
she
so
was aware of those gastropods, those
you want to
long
give it enough,
chilled
but you don't want to give
gastropods
it
that
too
we
much.
just
I
saw
know
on two
that
sponges.
sounds meaningless, but
No,
But they might be
and
eating
it's all
these sponges.
situational.
So not the whole
Getting enough so
family
you
that
can
they
get
belong
down, and
to
then-
are
but not more
spongivores.
than you
I don't know if that's a word now it is.
Yeah, they were probably also referring
You said
to
it on the internet.
not
Now
high
it is now
current
a word.
situations and yeah.
Coming back to starboard co-pilot.
what I'll do is if I can't sit down, right, and I'm trying to get a shot, I might use the current to get a panning shot and if you're neutral with the current or making small adjustments so that you can get a nice steady zoom.
Yeah.
If you're not, although you're not going to be stationary when you do that. So it's good for beauty shots.
Yeah, it looks like the current's actually shifted a little. Now it's coming almost north. So very odd.
Now it's coming more. Look at Sirius's view.
Oh yeah.
It's coming more from the west.
Yeah, I was gonna see if you guys wanted to get a move in that way.
Yeah, we can go ahead and head west.
Yeah, ship has been stopped for a little bit, so we'll get a move in. How about 30 meters, 275?
Copy that.
5.
Bridge nav. Can we do another ship move, please? Range 30 meters, bearing 275 degrees, speed 0.2 knots. Good copy. Okay, pilots, move in.
Copy that.
Should be nicer for keeping you in the Sirius view. Although the tether might be annoyingly in line.
So it is a bit more steep here as we're starting to climb up the last, or some of the top parts of this feature. Can really see as we look up this hill, a lot of complexity in the terrain from these black rock outcrops.
Yeah, and very different from all the little small rubble that we saw at the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
These big, large chunks.
Thank you.
Watch lead nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
Hey, you guys might be looking at it, so stop me if you are, but the Sirius CTD is back down to 5.5.
Oh, okay.
From
They're
8.1, 8.2.
Thank you.
Crazy.
I haven't really changed my altitude that much.
I was going to say, have we really...
Yeah, I didn't see it.
That's so it's got to be in the
Well.
XY at least. If it's moving that much.
Yeah.
You know, I changed my heading. That's the only thing I did.
Yeah, that was, I haven't checked it in a few minutes, so it might have been, I'm not sure how far
Well,
you've come, but I guess not
If you
too
pull
much.
up the computer screen,
Oh,
it
this,
has a, I think a 60-minute, the graph in the bottom center for a CTD.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like
Yeah.
it sort of dropped back down, I don't know, maybe just a couple minutes ago, and the oxygen went back up.
yeah. Yeah, and that was, let's see, 6 minutes ago.
I mean, I could change my heading again and see if that makes a difference.
Sure.
I'm going to lose you for a second here.
Copy that. I need to go back this way anyways, I believe.
So for those of you that don't, since you don't have the screen that we're all looking at, there are CTDs on both Sirius and the vehicle, and we look at the two of them together. We've been seeing differences in their temperature, in the temperature of the water. So we're just kind of observing that and thinking about what might be causing that change in temperature with such a short distance, because they're only about 20 meters apart, now 10 meters apart from each other.
Anything?
Yeah, that definitely changed it.
Really?
Yeah. Just doesn't make sense to me, but
I mean,
I guess just...
so if I turn my... So the CTD is pretty much center line with the vehicle.
Well, it's...
Very strange.
Yeah. It runs transversely, but the... Yeah.
See, now I'll bring my heading back to...
Yeah, it didn't... I guess it didn't change as much as the drop that we saw, but it did give it a little change data point there for a few minutes.
Okay, now I'm back looking the other way.
So we're seeing a cold water spike or a warm water spike?
Kind of both,
It's
depending on
colder
the vehicle.
Yeah, closer to the seafloor, and then it's a little warmer right above us, apparently, or was.
And then does the temperature drop back down as you go up in altitude? Or up in...
I don't think it gets colder again, but I think it's just that it's such a big temperature drop between the two depths that it's almost 3 degrees C in
Gotcha.
10 meters.
Yeah.
And then it's also a very
Yeah, coming up again.
big difference in the dissolved oxygen.
So that's at 857 meters.
Okay. See what that does.
How is that sargassum blowing against the current?
What?
What's that?
Do you see that? That
Yeah, I
tumbleweed
saw that
sargassum
too.
is blowing against the current.
Is it sargassum?
Moving
You
against
wanna-
the current?
I mean, we might
Yeah.
as well just take a
Yeah,
snap
zoom
zoom
in.
on it.
Probably a crab.
Or a sargassum. It was a weird movement, though.
Maybe
That
it's...
wasn't- Oh, yeah, go ahead.
oh, no. Sorry.
Coming down. They're coming up too far down. Yeah, that's happy. Yeah.
Okay, that move is complete, just
Okay.
about.
Full wide video.
There might be like a little boundary layer or something close to the bottom.
Did it change again?
She was heading.
It can go down again.
Yeah. Yeah, you came up, what, 6 meters, 5 meters?
So I'll go down.
Oh, there's a fish to the left of center.
Yeah,
Kind of a
that's
big.
862.
Looks...
Go ahead, come in video. I'll come up with rotator.
Is that maybe one of those, cusk eels? Is that what...
Copy.
Maybe, I am not sure.
Laser's coming off. Go ahead. Coming back to starboard. Coming up. Coming down. Coming down. Coming to port. for it.
Oh, can you guys turn the lasers on, please?
Coming on. They're on top. If you want to pull back a little bit so I can paint them. Drifting away, aren't I?
Yeah, cusk eel.
Full wide video, please. Thank you. I need to get back underneath Sirius.
Wow, lots of these little platforms of rocks all broken up.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
Ooh,
Bridge.
what's that blue thing down there? Or purple?
Right in
One
front.
of those blue demo sponges.
Oh, I thought maybe it was an aqua.
Yeah, it looks like it's just bouncing around, Copilot.
I know.
Yes.
Strange.
Dang it.
When we saw the
Profile
one
looks like madness.
sea star that was eating the coral at first from the angle, I was like, "Oh, is that maybe an octopus?" Because it looked like
Or
its
waiting.
tentacle. Yeah.
We'll still just go ahead and take a zoom.
Yeah.
Sponges are
Go ahead and
important
zoom in.
too.
Coming up.
I do love the color of these. How
yeah.
these are like this
Okay.
purpley blue pop of color on the
In.
seafloor.
Yeah.
Coming down. Go ahead.
I believe it's a type of demo sponge. Yeah, they're super cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just get steady. Go ahead. Copy. Copy that. Science, are we clear?
Yep, we're good. Thank you.
Alright. Feel free to come out video. So I guess Science, is there anything in particular that you were looking for coming
Oh
up?
no.
Stocked
I
crinoid.
think we're just gonna
Okay.
see what we have as we go up.
Copy that. Copy, thank you.
Yeah, if I didn't know better that the eastern coast is a tectonically inactive region, right, I'd look at this and say, oh my gosh, this looks volcanic, but it's not.
That's why we like to have a geologist on board. Couple more of these larger bamboo corals, and then we've seen a couple stalks as we've been going too that look like dead bamboos.
Oh, yeah.
Or like, but just the base is left where they've
Mm-hmm.
mostly broken off.
Quite a few of these rubble mounds as
Yeah.
far as like coral. I believe that's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty significant change.
Ooh, those nice sand ripples.
Ooh, yeah.
So I was just watching you come up there, Josh, and you went from 6 to 7.5 on that little winch move. Actually, 8.
That was like 3 meters.
Yeah.
6 to 8 degrees.
Yep. Holding at 8.1, 8.2.
Should we go ahead and get another move?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so this
you're way
is
out there.
really great characterization, seeing this
Get another one in.
sandy
Two.
patch
Feel free to come in on this white
with these ripples.
We'll do 270. Just due west.
cylinder
is
looking
that?
thing.
Some type of trash.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like.
It's like so
Ah,
white.
is that a plastic spoon?
It does
Oh,
look
yeah.
like a handle
A
of...
utensil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm drifting.
Yeah, you're drifting
A
back.
spoon-a-day plastic-a.
Okay. Partial. Okay. Copy.
Okay, that move is in. Due west. And yeah, you're at 8.5 now.
Is that a coral to your right, or is that line?
Looks like coral. But
Yeah,
we
I
can take a
think
quick.
If we can just take a zoom from afar.
Yeah, if you could do a partial snap zoom, I'm coming up.
Yeah, it looks like one of these really
Yeah, it's cool.
fine bamboo corals.
Yep.
The little squat lobster on there too.
Wow, it's very translucent.
Go ahead. Copy.
Squid in Sirius's view. Can you zoom in
Oh.
on this? I think that's a squid.
It's a
On
yank,
Sirius video?
right?
No,
Oh.
that's a squid.
Oh yeah,
That
is
in
a
the
squid.
serious view, camera 2.
Video, I know you're busy, but do you mind
There's
coming
a
out on mine?
squid bumping around.
It's translucent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come out a little bit. Wow, that thing is cool.
That is very cool. Whoop, there it goes.
That's doing that because Sirius is actually bebopping up in the water with the
Oh,
ship. So that's why it looks like it's going so fast.
It's gonna stay out of auto heading for a second here and let it, oh, there's something else
oh there's
swimming in
probably
here
another one.
to your right.
It looks like it might be behind the vehicle.
Oh, that might be a,
That looks like a
Siphonophore.
siphonophore,
Yep.
yeah. You can
Okay,
see it
you're not
swimming
gonna
though.
catch
Its
it.
swimming parts are.
There's an eel.
Oh, it's. I think it's gone.
that's a big fish.
Big
Yeah.
fish.
Oh, there's
Oh, there's
another.
another cusk eel.
That is a cool view from Sirius also to kind of get the overhead and we can really see those waves on the sand.
Any interest in this watch leads other than just getting size? I believe you're muted. Yeah, of course. I've been turning them off just because of beauty. But I mean, if we want them on for science, I prefer them on actually. Copy that? Yeah, I will leave them on. I will only take them off if video asks for it, and then I will turn them right back on after we are done.
Great, thank you, pilot.
No problem.
Yeah, back on heading.
Copy.
I didn't want my
Copy. Sea star.
Yep, there's the sea star up there.